Hi, I'm Justin from Studio One Expert, and today I'm reviewing the new Transformer plugin from Kush Audio. Let's start by having a quick listen to some drums. This is part of a track that I did with top UK session drummer and good mate of mine, Martin Johnson. The Omega 458A Transformer plugin is the third in this set, and what Kush call their first foray into true tube emulation. According to the strapline for this plugin, you will, and I quote, add grit and delicious tube sag to any track, or transform the Omega preamp into an analog dream. What this means is that there are two useful modes to choose from. You can be quite economical with it by gently pulling out the harmonic content of a channel, or if you push it harder you get a very pleasing analog grit and distortion, which you just heard. It's based on an Altec 458A tube preamp, and like the two Transformer plugins before it, the Omega A and the Omega N, it has a very simple interface. So let's have a look. As with all the plugins in this Omega Transformer range, first you have a phase button, always a useful thing to have. Next is the intensity knob, which pushes and drives the effect. The lights underneath give you a visual indication of how hard you're driving the sound. Then there's the pad button, which essentially gives you two different ranges to work from. If the pad is in, then the effect will be less overdriven. If the pad is out, then you'll experience more grit and distortion sooner. And finally there's a volume slider, so it's possible to match your original volume to the affected output volume. So let's have a listen to what it sounds like in practice. We've heard the drums, so let's bring in some more instruments. Just bring in some bass to begin with. Okay, obviously this bass is quite affected already. There's quite a gnarly fuzz on it. So let's bring in the Omega. So that's added quite a lot of volume. There you go, just when you thought there couldn't be even more fuzz, there it is. Now I'm just going to take the effect out for a second. Now not only is there a slight volume drop, which we can compensate with the volume slider here, but I really think there's a quality difference as well. Once you switch it off, you feel like you're missing the harmonics. And with the pad on, the same thing, you have a volume bump. It just sounds better in. So let's try some guitars. We'll bring the intensity down for a second and bring in the Omega. For my money, they just pop. Once you bring the Omega in. Yeah, that's good. So let's just try all three. It's not just a volume bump, it's definitely harmonics. It just sounds a lot richer. In conclusion, I really like this plugin. It's very useful and I've genuinely been using it since the day it came out. I'm always a big fan of the Kush Audio plugins because they're very musical and intuitive to use. Obviously this plugin is very simple to operate, but can really bring out the best in your recorded material. When used sparingly, it really brings out the harmonics and tracks take on a 3D aspect. When pushed, it becomes gritty but never gets too harsh. I think once there's a transformer on the insert, you probably won't want to switch it off. At $29, it really is a steal. I like the other two transformers, but this is my favourite now. Highly recommended. I've been Justin for Studio One Expert. See you next time.